Now we are going to the next session, which is critical and professional driven.
Recording in
the AGM.
progress.
Now with this, I would like to confirm with our technical team, confirm if the chair is online. Chair, are you in? And also to know, by way of reports, how many are in? How many members are online? 39. You sent 6,000. That's okay. So, Chair, Dr. Evelyn Grikacha. Is Chair only?
Yes, good afternoon, Prof. and members. I'm in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Yeah. So we have confirmed the chair is in. And therefore, we also have members inside. Do we have other council members online? Council members? Dr. Soti, are you online? Dr. Soti? Could some? Open this first. Veronica? Madam Veronica Kirogo? Is Veronica online? Okay, other council members? CPA Pitanda, are you online? No. Okay. And Judy? Okay. Inside, we have 3 council members. We have Madam Purity Chege and KNDI Banis. So we already have 3. Chair is also online and has confirmed. So we have 4 council members and the CEO already. So that is 5, which is a quorum. We have 2 apologies. Madam Judith Kobe, who has just left, and Peter Nda. We also want to recognize the presence of our auditor, and of course a key part of the meeting of today. And you'll have your time to come in. So essentially, most of the critical members for this AGM are there. And I think that is important for us to note and record. So with that, we are supposed to start at 2:30. I think it's already. Yeah. Okay. So we are ready. We have big. Okay. So we'll wait for the chair to call the meeting to order at exactly 2:30. So chair, you have your watch. At exactly 2:30, the floor will be yours to call the AGM to order and carry on with the processes from that point. Chair, that's okay?
That's okay, Prof.
Thank you very much.
I think as per my watch, we have 5 minutes to go, or mine is behind or something.
You're okay. You are quite in order. We are just waiting, so
Okay,
we will be
thank
very
you.
patient until that time comes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Sotik, would you confirm if you are in? Dr. Soti, technical team, could you try find Dr. Soti if he is online? Yeah? He's not in? Okay, then see you can call him. Try call him to... Chair, the floor is yours. Chair.
Thank you, Prof. I think it's almost time, 1 minute to time.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, professionals. I want to take this opportunity to thank God for giving us this opportunity for us to have this annual general meeting. And I will start by calling the meeting into order and request council member available physically, any volunteer council member available to lead us with the word of prayer.
Good afternoon. Let's pray. Our Heavenly Father, we come unto your hand with thanksgiving. We commit this day, this particular time into your hand. We pray that God, as we meet together with other professionals, others online, other physical here, we pray that God, you are going to guide us, you are going to give us wisdom, that whatever we are going to deliberate is going to be of good to the professional and also for the institute. We pray that you guide us, guide the people who are going to give presentation. We pray that our professionals are able to join in because this is our day, and that we are able to follow the deliberation and be able to give even positive feedback towards improving the institute. And we pray that God, as we move on, we are going to give thanks and honor to you when we complete the session. I pray for the chair. I pray for the council members. I pray for the KNDI staff. I pray for the country also. And I pray for each and every person that is listening to us this moment. We pray that you guide us and bless us all. And when we finish in the evening, we'll remember to give thanks and glory. And I pray all this, believing and trusting in Jesus' holy name.
Amen. Thank you, Madam Purity, for the word of prayer. So this is our day, professionals, and that is why we are gathered in this congregation with the aim of making this, our institution, better for tomorrow and the future of the people who are coming after us. So at this juncture, I'm going to request the CEO to read the notice and the business of the day. CEO, Dr. David Okeo, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, professionals. I read the notice. This is a special general meeting, which is also doubling as annual general meeting. A notice is given for special general meeting to all Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute professionals in good standing, pursuant to Section 30, Part 4 of Cap 253 be read together with the first schedule with the following details. The date is 18th December 2023, venue Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute headquarters. This meeting shall be held virtually, and also physical presence is allowed, so it's blended. Registration link has been shared to 6,000 professionals that are in good standing. Time is 2:30 p.m., which is now. The business is prayer, which has been done. Reading of the notice, which is being done. Adoption of the business. Reading and confirmation of resolutions of the previous AGM. Matters arising from the resolutions of previous AGM. Chairperson's report. Then presentation of audited accounts, statements of income and expenditure, and statement of assets and liabilities for the financial year 1st July 2022 to 30th June 2023 by external auditors Muiru Karanja and Associates, certified public accountants. And then we can have questions and answer, then adjournment of by the chairperson. So, Madam Chair, this is the notice, and just to inform you, we have shared the link for the meeting with all 6,000
plus professionals, which makes the quorum. And this is online and shall be available for as long as the YouTube exists. So this is the notice, and we can proceed with the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. I think we adopt the notice.
Let's have someone propose, either online or physically, for the agenda, and someone second. And for the technical team, if you see any proposer, you can alert us so that.
I propose.
Madam
I
Warentho,
second. I second.
Madam Warentho proposes. Is that correct?
I second.
Dr.
I
Nyango.
second.
Agatha second.
Dr.
Agatha
Nyango.
seconds.
Dr. Nyango. Chair, it has been
Yeah.
proposed and seconded by Dr. Nyango, proposed by Madam Edna Warentho.
Thank you, thank you. So members, I want to start by introducing the council members who are in the office. The council members, some are in physically, others are online. And we start with myself, Dr. Evelyn Krigacha, under paragraph A. Then we have Ms. Bernice Kendi Mugo, under paragraph B. We have Mrs. Veronica Kirogo, under paragraph C. We have Ms. Judith Athiambo Kobe, under paragraph D. Then we have Professor Gordon Guka, under paragraph E. We have Ms. Purity Joki Chege, under paragraph F. We have Dr. David Soti, under paragraph G. We have CPA Peter Nda, under paragraph H. And we have Dr. David Omondi Okeo, and who is under section 9. So the next thing that members we are going to do is to have the council performance report, which this time is going to be read in part by the team that I've mentioned above. And we start with the first one, which is the nutrition landscape in Kenya, which is to be done by Mrs. Veronica Kirogo. CEO, kindly confirm if Veronica Kirogo is there so that she can do that part.
Madam Chair, Madam Veronica Kirogo
Yes.
has not
CEO?
joined, is yet to join the meeting. So,
She has not yet joined the meeting.
yes. But I can offer to read on her behalf.
Yes?
If you allow, I can offer to read that report on our behalf if you accept.
Thank you so much. You are most welcome.
Okay. So this is part of the chair's report, which is also the annual performance report for the past 1 year, beginning 1st July 2022, ending the 30th June 2023. So again, professionals, Kenya is undergoing an epidemiological transition marked by a decline in morbidity and mortality caused by communicable diseases and increase in the burden of non-communicable conditions. which are estimated to account for 27% of all deaths. Nutrition has the capacity to halt or reverse the rising burden of non-communicable diseases through minimizing the exposure to health risk factors across the life cycle. In the 2010 Constitution of Kenya, recognizes adequate food and nutrition as a human right. And it states that every person has the right to be free from hunger and the right to adequate food of acceptable quality. And here we underline the word acceptable, the words acceptable quality under Article 43. And that every child has the right to basic nutrition, that is under Article 53. Since 2007, there appears to have been some intensified energies that have resulted into several policy and also programmatic initiatives. And these include the Sustainable Development Goals, Vision 2030, Kenya National Strategy for Control of Non-Communicable Diseases, 2015-2020, which has expired now, National Nutrition Action Plan, 2012-2017, and we also had a revised version, which also has expired. The Kenya National E-Health Strategy, 2011-2017, the National Food and Nutrition Security Policy 2011, Kenya Nutrition and HIV Strategy 2007-2010. Those are efforts. Scaling up nutrition movement, nutrition situation analysis, among other documents. So you see many trends in policies and guidelines with a target to nutrition to fulfill the agenda for the Constitution and Article 43 and Article 53. Furthermore, the government of Kenya's 2011 Food and Nutrition Security Policy stated that nutrition is central to human development in the country, a fact that has been embedded in the Vision 2030 and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal that specifically address SDG 2. So KNDI, therefore, dutifully, with the great hope, looks forward to continuing collaboration with all those who are practically promoting nutrition status and the well-being of the Kenyan people. KNDI provides an enabling environment for sustainable improvement of nutrition and dietary status of all Kenyan population group. That is within the legal framework. The legal framework and the research policy framework allows the Institute to deepen its work around understanding nutrition research and providing ethical approval for all researchers with nutrition-specific and nutrition-sensitive components. Advice to government on matters of related to nutrition and dietetics, and then enhance nutrition research evidence by making policy and matters of quality. So in order to achieve this function, KNDI, through existing research policy, enables its members to make full use of vast resources to create research culture consistent with national development. The Institute is aware of previous strategies utilized to bring deliberate attention on identification of priority research areas and conduct need-based research to inform policy, program, and implementation. And so with that background, we have a current nutrition situation in the country. Kenya Health Sector Strategy Investment Plan 2018-2023 that is just coming to an end. Its midterm review report identified key indicators of nutrition as part of strategic objectives for strengthening collaboration with the health-related sectors, This Kenya Health Sector Strategy Investment Plan is actually with the State Department for Public Health and the Ministry of Health. And the key indicators for nutrition included stunting, wasting as the critical one. Professionals, as you're aware, stunting is a measure of chronic malnutrition, while wasting is a measure of short-term malnutrition. But of course, both of them are used as indicators. Wasting purely is for protein energy malnutrition, while stunting is purely an indicator for measuring the development status of a nation. So those are very important indicators, and they are normally the key focus for KDHS, Kenya Demographic Health Survey. So based on this, we have seen key achievements from the current KDHS. The prevalence of stunting, which is weight for height, decreased remarkably since 2014, from 26% to 17.6% in 2022. Maybe we can clap for that one. And the key output is percent decrease in stunting. Obesity among children under 5 years decreased from 4% in 2014 to 3% in 2020. Again, that is a remarkable improvement, decrease. And we know that when it comes to obesity among children, then the focus is sugar-sweetened food products. And the output is percent decrease in overweight. But then we have challenges in the nutrition sector, which needs to go in public. Nutrition interventions depend purely on partner funding, and there seems to be limited budgetary allocation from the National Treasury on nutrition matters. We have seen this because most of the projects in nutrition are spearheaded by either international partners in the UN or international NGOs or local NGOs, which means that we align to their objectives instead of aligning to our objectives as a country. And so this is an area that is a challenge that may need to be looked into, because the government must allocate funds for nutrition under preventive care. Then we have emerging issues. Wasting increased from 4% to 5%. Now that is interesting, because if wasting increased, underweight, is wasting. Wasting increased from 4% to 5%. What does that mean? What does it mean? Is increasing. Exclusive breastfeeding decreased from 61% to 60%. What does it mean? No much change. 60.1% of children born in the last 2 years who were put on breast within 1 hour of birth, that is percent increase in the children put on the breast within 1 year as an indicator for improvement. At 60.1%, it means 39.9% are still out of the bracket. 34% of children below 24 years were fed on bottle with a nipple. Again, 37% of children 6 to 23 months had adequate diverse diet, where we are getting into diversity and food groups, and had been given foods from appropriate number of food groups. 71% had been fed the minimum number of times appropriate for their age, and 52% of non-breastfed children were given at least 2 milk feeds. 49% of children 6 to 23 months were fed on sweetened beverage the day preceding the survey. and 26% of children were given unhealthy foods during the previous day. This is from KDHS. It means that we still have the business of sugar-sweetened beverage for children in the country. And of course, these are coming from our food outlets and supermarkets. That also calls for nutrition action plan to focus on it. Low birth weight increased from 4.7 to 5.5% in 2020. So again, children are being born with less weight compared to their appropriate for their age or preterm in the context of underweight appropriate to gestation age. Lessons learned, most of the nutrition indicators only focus on maternal and child, and this leaves out a bigger component of nutrition and dietetic matters in the entire life cycle. The following key areas are left out and should be given focus as nutritionists. The first one is geriatric nutrition interventions. We don't have a focus on adult nutrition intensified in the service areas. Adolescent nutrition services, though coming up, we are still not giving it a better focus. Nutrition and dietetics education for school-going children, even though the current CBC has come up with a integrated curriculum on nutrition within that level of study or level of education, the question is who is in charge and who is going to take charge of the competencies and the content of what is being taught. That has not been looked into. Mental health nutrition is completely out. No one thinks about the aspect of mental illnesses and health conditions like mood change have their roots from nutrition. So we have not focused on that. The nutrition sensitive agriculture is coming up with the approval of the national training guidelines for nutrition sensitive agriculture under Ministry of Agriculture and supported by FAO, but it has not been fully implemented. So these are new areas that needs to be focused on. And Madam Chair, the key statement is our focus is on maternal and child health, and many of the partners are really focusing on that area. And that means if they are funding, they can only fund maternal and child health programs. And this we have also seen in our previous conferences where 70% of people working on research are on maternal and child. It's a big challenge for nutrition, and so if we are professionals, then we must rethink. Nutrition is not about a child only. We have so many adults that are malnourished. And some of the malnutrition cases for adults are actually hidden cases, like micronutrient, hidden hunger deficiencies. And so we need to rethink as scientists. We don't need to align to the partner. The partner have their reason why they come. We can work together with them, but we should take lead in making decisions on which area we want to focus on in nutrition. Because after all, the act was made for Kenyans, not for outsiders. So, Chair, that is the nutrition landscape in Kenya, and I am grateful for the privilege to present it on behalf of the Director of Nutrition Services.
Thank you, Dr. Okeo, for that report. We are going to the next one, which is governance matters, which is going to be headed by myself. The council, whose members are in Gazette Notice number 8265, 14th July 2022, and number 8817, 20th July 2022, as in the past 1 year of operations, embraced principles of good governance for the Institute by empowering committees and Office of the CEO to execute the Institute's mandate. Council meetings are often chaired substantively by the chairperson of the council, and in the case of a committee meeting, the chairperson of that committee. In the absence of the chairperson, one of the council members designated by the council members present preside at the meeting as the chair. The council meetings are constituted in accordance with the constitutive documents of the Institute, and they include a confirmation that there is a quorum for the meeting to proceed, as well as recording of attendance. The chairperson, having ensured that the meeting is properly constituted, always ensure that an appropriate time during the meeting, the minutes of the previous meeting were confirmed and matters arising therefrom handled. All committee reports were tabled in full council meetings for adoption. The following committees operated actively, participated in various meetings as mandated by the council. We have 1, the Finance, Administration and Human Resource Committee. 2, we have the Audit and Risk Committee. 3, we have the Accreditation Committee. 4, we have the Disciplinary Committee. 5, we have the Resource Mobilization. Regular meetings to pass resolutions for adoption. The Office of the CEO and the Secretariat remained in full operation. The foreign council and committee members actively participated in governance matters of the institutes. We have council members who are elected under Cap 253B, Section 5(2). We have the chair, who is Dr. Erin Krigacha, under Section A, Paragraph A, Ms. Banis Kendi Mugo, Paragraph B, Mrs. Veronica Kirogo, Paragraph C, Mrs. Judith Apiambo Kobe, Paragraph D, Professor Gordon Buka, Paragraph E, Ms. Purity Joki Chege, Paragraph F, Dr. David Soti, Paragraph G, CPA Peter Da, Paragraph H, and we have Dr. David Okeo under Section 9. Then we have council committee members, and we start with the Accreditation Committee, which is headed by the chairman, Professor Gordon Buka. We have subcommittee accreditation, and the members are Mrs. Emily Wahome, Dr. Regina Kamhu, KICD representative, Ms. Judy Muriuki, NEC representative, Ms. Gatia, and we have Dr. David Esoti from the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Health. Then we have subcommittee registration, and under subcommittee registration, we have, it is headed by the Vice Chairperson, Ms. Purity Joki Chege. Then we have the members who are Mr. Mohammed Noor, NEC representative, Ms. Gatia, and we have Mrs. Veronica Kirogo from the Ministry of Agriculture. We also have Subcommittee Examinations Board, which is headed by the chairperson, NEC representative, Ms. Ann Gatia. Then we have Mrs. Emily Wahome, Regina Kamu, and Dr. David Okeo. Then we have Resource Mobilization Committee, which is headed by our able CPA, Peter Nda, and the members are Ms. Judith Kobe, Ms. Margaret Oyugi, Professor Gordon Buka, Mrs. Veronica Kirogo, Ms. Banis Kendi, and also we have Dr. David Okeyo, Resource Committee, which is headed by our able Professor Ms. Purity Chege, Ms. Bernice Kendi, and Dr. David Okeyo. Then we have an Audit and Risk Committee, which is headed by our able Dr. David Soti, and the members are Mrs. Veronica Kirogo, CPA Pitanda, and Dr. David Okeyo. Then we have the Disciplinary Committee, which is headed by our able Professor Jackie Nanwa. The members are Professor Gordon Buka, Counsel Esther Nduma, Mrs. Edna Warentho, and Beatrice Kiage. Those are the committees. Council approved policies and standard operating procedures. In order to support the operations of the Office of the Chief Executive Officer, the Council adopted previous policies and developed new ones to guide operations, making a total of 26 policies. Any professional can walk into the Institute and access any relevant policies and procedures of interest for purposes of knowledge. Some of the statutory documents and the standard operating procedures that are in operations like instruments, that is the 18 of 2007. Then we have Nutritionist and Dietitian Act amendment in health laws, that is amendment of 2019. We have legal notices numbers 215 of 2019, 160 of 2019, and 260 of 2020. Amendment notice 215. Then we have legal notice number 267 of 2021. Policies and guidelines. We have the Council Charter, training standards, inspection checklist degree for degree, diploma, and certificates, core curriculum guidelines for degree, that is
Chair, we are losing you on your side. From the IT can check the internet from that end. Chair, can we have you again?
Recording in progress.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, now we can hear you.
CEO, can I be heard now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I'm hearing you, Chair. I don't know
Yes.
how many more.
Even people online are saying they can hear me. I don't know whether I should continue.
You can continue,
I
Chair.
think we have a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Can you
Then
check
we
the
have
internet?
food company value chain inspection tool. We have internship guidelines, internship logbook, examination policy, CPD guidelines, ethical clearance guidelines, scope of practice, code of ethics and order of practice, KNDI research policy. We have KNDI business process analysis, IT policy, communication policy, human resource policy, remuneration policy, ATRI PLC business process plan, core curriculum BSc food and nutrition security, resource mobilization policy. Then we move to standard operating procedures. There are 20 approved procedures for operations which are implemented by the Chief Executive Officer on behalf of the Council. We have procedure number 1, that is procedures for Council's operations. We have procedure number 2, SOPs for dealing with accreditation committee operations. We have procedure number 3, which is procedure for dealing with registration and the registration committee functions. We have procedure number 4, disciplinary committee related offenses. Procedure number 5, offenses related to management operations. Procedure number 6, procedure for disciplining members and professionals. Procedure number 7, procedure for recruitment of staff. Procedure number 8, employee induction. Procedure number 9, coordination of internship program. Procedure number 10, staff training. Procedure number 11, staff motivation and retention. Procedure number 12, policy development. Procedure number 13, accreditation of training institutions. Procedure number 14, registration of professionals. Procedure number 15, procedures for professional examination. Procedure number 16, procedures for internship program. Procedure number 17, procedures for research and scientific publication sharing. Then we have procedure number 18, procedures for information technology operations. Procedure number 19, guidelines for ethical clearance by ethics review committee and terms of reference. Procedure number 20, financial and accounting policies and procedure manual. That marks the section on governance. So we move on to the next section. As I said, this report, we are going to do it in part as council member, which is on major achievements specific for the current council, which are going to be done by our able viewers. Most welcome, talk to our professionals.
Thank you, Chair. So I will take members of the professionals through major achievements specific to the current third council. The major achievement specific to this council are: 1, operationalization of the strategic plan for the July 2020 to 2025. The second achievement was making necessary arrangements to ensure timely external financial audit by CPA Mweru Karanja and Associates Company Limited as an independent certified public accountant for the financial year 2022-2023. The third achievement is the transforming the following services into online platform for ease of operation. A, online continuous professional development CPD portal. B, online indexing portal. C, online professional examination portal. D, online registration portal. E, digital license registration, clearance and indexing cards. And F, online training institution accreditation portal. The fourth achievement, partnering with Pwani Oil Limited, Veritas, and we've also partnered with Analab and SGS to effectively review fresh oil as part of the quality assurance for Kenyans on the edible oil brand in the context of nutrition and well-being claims. Number 5, we have also had an achievement with a partnership with the Brookside Limited to review the value chain process of probiotics, yogurt, brand, and as part of quality assurance for Kenyans on products of milk consumption in the context of nutrition and well-being claims. Achievement number 6 is allowing professionals to have free access for Research for Life database for journals under Hinari, Agora, Oare, WIPO, Goali, and has now been approved and is operational. Our professionals and research scientists can now access high-quality journal papers for free. Achievement number 7 is continuing to improve the KNDI headquarters office block in Machakos County, Sabaki area, Mjengo, Mlolongo, off Mombasa Road, to host operations, symposium, and conferences. Achievement number 8 is supporting the operations of the ATRI, or Agenga Training and Research Institute, PLC, to host the 3rd International Conference in Nutrition and Athletics, whose thematic area was sustainable food systems, diet, health inequalities, and policy, with 500 delegates. And the links are provided there. Achievement number 9 is supporting the operations of ATRI, Ragenga Training and Research Institute, PLC, to host the 2nd International Symposium, Taste, Nutrition and Health, a matter of well-being, with 1,900 participants. This was done in collaboration with the Italian Embassy for Kenya through the Italian Culture Institute. Again, the link is provided that can be found on the YouTube. Achievement number 10 is approving 69 training institutions to admit students pursuing nutrition and athletics at certificate, diploma, and degree levels through frequent inspection and monitoring. Achievement number 11 is successfully conducting pre-admission oral and final professional examination. And finally, number 12, as an achievement, is approving the National Nutrition Sensitive Training Manual hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture for national use. Chair, thank you very much, and back to you.
Thank you, Professor Guka, for that enlightenment. Now we go to the next section, which is major challenges and the threats. And this section is going to be taken by Ms. Bernice Kendi. Ms. Kendi, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, professionals. Let me take you through major challenges and threats. The following are major challenges that face the nutrition and dietetics profession in the last financial year. Number 1, the non-payment of interns who are annually placed by the Institute across 47 health facilities countrywide, leading to temporarily withdrawing of interns. 2, non-employment of nutritionists and dietitians in the public sector. 3, non-compliant professionals, obligations measured by already registered professionals where only 30% renew their licenses. 4, interference by various offices of the state due to inadequate knowledge and awareness on the creation and operations of the Kenya Nutritionist and Dietitians Institute within the provisions of CAP 253B. 5, inadequate funds due to high inflations affecting different income streams. The Institute, and by extension, the Council, appeals to both national and county government from a quality and service delivery lens to review this matter of employment of nutritionists and dietitians within the norm and standards on human resource for health to ensure a good number of nutritionists and dietitians are employed. The Institute also appeals to the Ministry of Health to include the nutritionists and dietitians interns stipend in the annual budget for smooth implementation of internship program. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kendi. And even before you leave, I'm going to call upon you to do strategic focus. That is the one that was to be taken by Council member CPA Pitanda. That is on partnership with the food industry, and then 5.2 partnership with other government, non-government, and the UN agencies. Welcome once again, Ms. Kendi.
Thank you. Let me take you through the session. 5.0 strategic focus. The current strategic plan, July 2020 to June 2025, is based on the Institute's initial self-assessment, the needs as defined by its legal mandate, and an internal analysis of its prevailing context and environment. Careful and critical consideration of all the emerging issues informed the Institute to define the orientation of all its goals, and in a prioritized manner to assign its objectives, strategies, and activities during the July 2020 to June 2025 period. For this period, KNDI will pursue the overall medium-term thematic focus, whose key results areas and results framework include operationalizing the Act, organization development, generation of resources for better sustainability of the Institute activities, and enhanced universal health coverage, that is UHC, food and nutrition security agenda for Kenya. The Institute is therefore committed towards the thematic focus of the current strategic plan with the following objectives in mind. The objective 1, to establish a strong pre-service training, capacity building framework on skills, competencies, and empowerment for nutrition and dietetics professionals in the next 5 years. 2, to establish a center of excellence in research coordination, quality assurance, documentation and innovations in nutrition and dietetics in the next 5 years. 3, to establish a resource mobilization and investment framework for the long-term sustainability of KNDI functions in the next 5 years. 4, to develop and implement a KNDI communication and advocacy strategy in the next 5 years. 5, to strengthen KNDI Secretariat for effective policy implementation, monitoring and evaluation, law enforcement and inspection in the next 5 years. 6, to build strong partnership with intergovernmental agencies and food supplement marketing agencies to enhance universal health coverage, food and nutrition security in Kenya in the next 5 years. Section 5.1, partnership with the food industry. KNDI has initiated partnership with the food industry in regulating and marketing of food and food supplements. KNDI is aware that this function is supposed to be achieved working jointly with other bodies as an active participant on reviews of food supplements, and fortifiers with nutrient claims. The Institute has successfully completed the review of 2 products which demonstrate a potential role in the Food and Drug Authority Technical Committee once the authority is established. The Institute also has a major role in the food safety reviews and therefore a key partner in the coordination of food safety regulation and should not be left out as an agency within the framework of Food Safety Coordination Bill 2021. Section 5.2, partnership with other government, non-government and UN agencies. Section 5.21, we have regulatory authorities partnership. KNDI is currently collaborating with other health sector regulatory authorities on matters of joint health inspection. The health regulatory authorities include 1. Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, 2. Pharmacy and Poisons Board, 3. Nursing Council of Kenya, 4. Kenya Medical Laboratories and Technicians Board, 5. Public Health Officers and Technicians Council, 6. Radiation Protection Board, and 7. Physiotherapy Council of Kenya, Section 523, multi-sectoral partnership. KNDI, being a regulatory agency, has separated its functions in 2 aspects: those that are linked to regulation and those linked to service delivery. In this context, the managing partner, Atri PLC, has well-structured partnership capacity. Atri PLC is committed to working with a wide range and public, private, NGOs and UN agency partners on matters of capacity building and research. Depending on the need, KNDI participates in key activities of WHO and FAO on matters of health and nutrition sensitive agriculture, respectively. KNDI is also a partner with the Intergovernmental Agencies Network in Kenya, which include both national government, ministry, department, and county government. KNDI has adequate potential to bring on both public and private universities in Kenya and beyond by nature of its creation. The contribution of professionals in the business incubation centers, the team of research experts, intergovernmental network, and non-governmental agencies would enhance partnership model and programming matters of Center of Excellence, COE, as displayed in the organogram below. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Banis, for that, Council Member. Now I will go to the next one, which was to be done by Ms. Council Member Judith Covey. I'll request Professor Buka to do 5.21 and 5.23. Welcome, Professor, to the floor.
Madam Chair, that is supposed to be done by Dr. Soti. I think Madam Banis has finished both for Peter and yes, and Judith, yes.
Okay, thank you for that, CEO. So we go to 6.0, that is infrastructure and expertise. I welcome Dr. David Soti to share with us that section, infrastructure and expertise.
Thank you, Chair. Confirm that I'm audible, Chair.
Yes, you are clearly audible, Dr. Soti. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chair. It's my pleasure, professionals of KNDI or of nutrition and dietitian, to present to you this section of the report on infrastructure and expertise. The shared facilities and expertise. KNDI, being a regulator on matters of research and training of nutritionists and dietitians in Kenya, partners with a number of universities on matters of training. Currently, the Institute approves laboratories within specific guidelines with regards to food and nutrition equipment. Some of the key areas highlighted as institutional infrastructure for readiness to conduct research is the availability of state-of-the-art laboratories. Such laboratories must demonstrate the existence of food chemistry laboratories with equipment such as mass spectrometer and basic food analysis tools. Again, KNDI has approved and built a partnership working relationship with 6 universities, all of which have working and well-established food chemistry laboratories with mass spectrometer machines that are in operation. This is done in the spirit of self-regulation. These universities include Mount Kenya University, University of Eastern Africa Baraton, One University, Karatina University, Technical University of Kenya, and Masindo Muliro University of Science and Technology. All these universities are recognized as partners in research and training in our website, www.kndi.institute, under accreditation of licensed institutions. Thank you very much, professional. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Soti, for that report. Now we move to governance assessment, which is going to be done by Council Member Ms. Purity Chege. Ms. Purity Chege, welcome to the floor.
Good afternoon, members. I'm supposed to cover 8.0, which is governance assessment. Implementation of the work plan 2022-2023 financial year was spearheaded by the CEO as supported by his secretarial team members. The implementation approach was executed within the technical, registration, disciplinary, and administrative arm of the institutes. Technical and registration arms constituted the section unit aligned to Council's accreditation committee. Disciplinary matters were coordinated by the Office of the CEO and legal expert on retainer and handled by disciplinary committee of the Council. The administration was handled by the Office of the CEO to support and coordinate all operations, including council committees, and management. Finance and administration and HR committee supported the Office of the CEO on matters of finance and human resource on behalf of the council to ensure efficient and effective administration support for operations. The audit and risk participated in the review of financial audited accounts and a roadmap for the risk assessment. The CEO monitors the progress on various operational on day-to-day basis and reports to the council on quarterly basis. The following matrix in the table 7 shows the performance on governance matters. Table 1 clearly indicates the number of meetings for council and council committees as stated below. Table 2A, council members' regular quarterly meeting attendance as stated below. And we have minutes records on the same. Table 2B, Finance and Administration and the HR Committee regular quarterly meeting attendance as scheduled below, and there is evidence based on the minutes recorded. Then Table 2C, Accreditation Committee regular quarterly meeting attendance. Members are listed there, and we have records of minutes to support that. And Table 2D, disciplinary meeting attendance, which is normally done on need base. And then Table 2A, audit and risk committee annual meeting attendance. As stated there, they list the members who participate, and there is minutes record verification. Thank you, Chair. Over to you.
Thank you, Ms. Purity Chege, Council Member, for that. So we now move to financial analysis, which is going to be done by our able CEO, Dr. David Okeyo. Dr. David Okeyo, you are welcome to the floor.
Thank you, Chair. This is for the professionals to be aware. I'll start with the funds of the Institute. Kenya Nutritionist and Dietitians Institute is created as a non-exchequer parliamentary agency with full mandate to generate its own funds to perform functions. Non-exchequer means we don't receive money from National Treasury or money appropriated by Parliament. Under Part 4 of the Nutritionists and Dietitians Act, number 18 of 2007, the Act herein is referred to as the Act. The funds of the Institute comprise of such monies as may accrue to or vest in the Institute in the course of the exercise of its powers or performance of its functions under the Act or under any other written law, and all monies from any other source provided for, donated, lent to the Institute. I move to establishments of general funds. There is established a general fund of the Institute to be known as the General Fund. The fund vested in the Institute is administered by the Council through Chief Executive Officer and consists of all monies received as subventions. Members and professionals. Subventions means money given as a grant by government. Since the creation in 2007, we have never had this money given directly. It is it's different from non-exchequer. So which means that the government can see how we are working hard, and then they give us one-off money to run our functions. That has never happened. Compared to the East Park, for example, they received at some point a grant of 74 million from government to do their functions. We have never had that at KNDI, though we are okay. Then we also have donations to the funds, monies and or arising from any investment of the fund, foreign aid and assistance from bilateral and multilateral agencies, and all other sums which may, if any manner, become lawfully payable to, received by, or vested in the institutes relating to any matter incidental to its duties and functions under the Act. And we have 1,000 of such where we can get money from. Chair and council members, I go to, and professionals, I move to financial year and annual estimates. The financial year of the Institute is the period of 12 months, ending on the 30th of June each year. The annual estimates of the Institute provide for 1A, the payment of salaries, allowances, and other charges in respect of the members of the Council, the Chief Executive Officer, the Corporation Secretary, and the staff of the Institute. B, payment of pensions, gratuities, and other charges in respect of the members of the Institute, the Chief Executive Officer, and the Corporation Secretary, and the staff of the Institute. C, proper maintenance of premises of the Institute. D, maintenance, repair, and replacement of the equipment and other property of the Institute. And E, the creation of such reserve funds to meet future or contingency liabilities in respect of retirement benefits, insurance or replacement of buildings or equipment, and in respect of such other matter as the Institute may deem appropriate. The annual estimates shall be approved by the Institute through a delegated responsibility to the Council before the commencement of the financial year to which they relate, and the amount in estimates may be increased with prior consent of the Institute. The Institute shall keep all proper books and records of accounts of the income, expenditure, assets, liabilities of the Institute. Within a period of 4 months after the end of the financial year, the Council shall submit to the members of the Institute at an annual general meeting or special general meeting convened for that purpose the audited accounts of the Institute together with a statement of income and expenditure of the Institute for that year, and B, a statement of the assets and liabilities of the Institute at the end of the last day of the year. The annual accounts of the Council shall be prepared, audited, and reported upon in accordance with the provisions of Article 226 and 229, that is public auditing, of the Constitution and the laws and the law relating to public audit. In respect to this, the Institute members have the powers to approve the financial auditors for appointment by the Council to prepare independent financial audit report with independent opinion in accordance with Section 27 of the Act. Once the reports are approved, the members at AGM, by the members at AGM, they may be shared with the offices of the Auditor General for records or any member of any member of the public. In this case, the ultimate accountability remains under the jurisdiction of Parliament through a petition. It means that the audited accounts can be published on the website for any member of the public, and whoever has a problem can petition Parliament for the Council to respond. In a case where the Institute receives grants from bilateral or multilateral agency guaranteed by the National Treasury, the National Treasury may order for such audits through the Office of the Auditor General. The guarantor may also conduct their own audit for the same. It means if we get money and the money comes through the Ministry of Finance, then they have the obligation to audit. If we don't, then they don't have obligation. And Madam Chair and professional, that's where whenever the Office of the Auditor General writes to KNDI, we reply that that is not within their jurisdiction, because this is what the Act says. I'll go to the analysis of the past trends of income. The average annual income for KNDI since 2018 was 41 million, approximately 400,000. And during this time, KNDI did not have a council. And the office of the Chief Executive Officer and 2 officers seconded by the Ministry of Health operated more as caretaker officers. The caretaker office increased the income to 70 million that year for the 2 years. In 2020, the income decreased to 58 million due to COVID pandemic. The pandemic affected income flows as most training institutions were closed, thus also affecting indexing. In 2021, the income increased due to increased collection from upgrade professional examination fees, which was introduced as a new area or a new stream. And this appeared temporary. In 2022, KNDI also recorded a further decrease in income streams due to post-pandemic effect. The general trend of income is in Table 3 of the Chair's report. Once it is shared, members can refer to it. And we have a trend from 2018 to 2022. We'll compare that with deficits. It means we still have between 37 to 50 million deficits each year. Of course, for KNDI to operate as required. The key sources of income currently are membership arrears, indexing, new registration and upgrade examination. There is high potential for research grants as a source of income, that is through ATRI. Although renewal of licenses is picking up, the collection are still quite low. Training institution collection has decreased due to hard economic times facing government and private institutions on revenue collection. And based on Council's analysis, the current source of income may not be stable and may reach its limit when there is 100% compliance by professionals. In more specific details, indexing and examination may remain stable at 13 million. Registration may remain stable at 5 million. Training institutional collections may remain stable at 7 million. Renewals may remain stable at 12 million, going by the compliance of 6,000 professionals. This gives a total of 37 million. For a stable income at 100% compliance. If the upgrade continues, the current trend, additional income of 4 million. The total income of KNDI's stability to be achieved is approximately 43 million, leaving a deficit of 60 million. If we go by these trends and there's 100% compliance. Therefore means that KNDI must get other sources of income to execute its functions. And I think that is why the Artery PLC was brought on board to become the national treasury for Kenya Nutritionists and Dietitians Institute. I think, Madam Chair, that is for the past analysis. I go to equity and liabilities. It is clear that when all liabilities and assets are considered, KNDI would be worth 122,600,000 approximately, demonstrating good health. In financial terms, good health means that if KNDI was to be sold today, then it will be sold at 122 million. That is for an institution that is on non-exchequer. It means we don't have debts as KNDI, and therefore means that we could be better than Kenya itself. So we have 121 million equity in 2021 and 122 in 2022. It means we are growing with equity. I know when I say that we are better than Kenya itself, somebody will be asking how. Kenya has debts, KNDI itself does not have debt by equity. And in summary, I think that I will invite the chair to do that part of the summary so that we can move to the next step. Madam Chair, back to you. You can take 9.1. Madam Chair, are you there? If you allow me as your secretary for now, I can invite the auditors on your behalf. Are you there, Chair?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
It's now time to invite the auditors. Okay.
Thank you. And thank you, CEO, for that report. I take this, at this juncture, I want to invite the external auditors to present their report to the professionals. External auditors, kindly take the floor. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Dr. Evelyn, the council members present, the professionals, the CEO and his staff, good afternoon. We are happy to be here. My name is Karanja from the firm of Muiru Karanja and Associates. We are ready to present the audited accounts for financial year 2023. And I'll go straight away to reading it because I know you've really listened to enough jargons of diets and nutrition. Some of them that are required to side chat the CEO, Dr. Okeo, because they really bypassed me, but it was such a good session. So we are ready to move. The accounts that we are ready to present for the financial year ended 30th June 2023. And I'll go to page 1, where I would confirm the council members who held office during the year under review. and they were Dr. Evelyn Grikata, the chairperson, Judith Kombe, member, Peter Nda, member, Bernice Kendi, member, Professor Nguka Gordon, member, Purity Njoki Chege, member, Director General, MOH, Director of Nutritional Service, MOH, and Dr. David Omondi Okeo, who is an ex-official member, and also doubles up the CEO. The bankers for the Institute, Cooperative Bank of Kenya, Kilimani Branch, Family Bank Branch, Kilimani Branch, Yaya Center, and NCBA Bank Limited, Industrial Area. Of course, the registered office is where we are, and we were the auditors. From there, I'll skip page 3. As the CEO had rightly put it, this report can be made available at the website or in the office. So I'll go to the nitty-gritties of the matter. The council members are quite aware of the responsibility in as far as this assignment was concerned, and we received maximum cooperation from the CEO and his office. Madam Chair, we are grateful. And the council provided the enabling environment for us to complete the assignment. So I'll read our report, which is on page 4. Then I'll go directly to the income and expenditure statement and the statement of financial status. So page 4, this is a report of the independent auditors for the period ended 30th June 2023. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of KNDI, set out on page 5 to 12, which comprise the balance sheet as at 30th June 2023, statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and notes including a summary of significant accounting policies. And in our opinion, the accompanying financial statements gives a true and fair view of the financial position of the Institute as at 30th June 2023. So in a sense, we are saying our report is an unqualified opinion. In financial terms, it means it's a good report. A qualified report is the one that has queries, or maybe the auditor's own opinion, there were some issues that were never well addressed. But in our case, the report is an unqualified one, so it rightly reflects a true position on financial matters as per the year June 2023. How did we form this opinion? We conducted an audit in accordance with the international standards on auditing, that is ISAs. Our responsibility under the standards are further described in auditor responsibility for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We are an independent of the Institute in accordance with International Ethics Standard Board for Accountants, Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, that is ISBAC, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statements in Kenya, and we have fulfilled our ethical responsibilities in accordance with these requirements and the ISBAC code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Other information is that the council members are responsible for the other information. Other information comprises the information included in the annual report, which has just been presented in details. So I don't need to go into it. It has been perfectly captured by all the council members and the CEO here. The council responsibility for the financial statements, they are quite aware that the council members are responsible for the preparation for fair presentation of financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with the international financial reporting standards and the requirements of public audit in Kenya, and for such internal controls as the council members determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, the council members are responsible for assessing the Institute's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters related to ongoing concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting, unless the council either intends to liquidate the Institute, and to cease operation, or have no realistic alternative but to do so. Auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an audit report that include, in our opinion, reasonable assurance is high level of assurance, but is not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with ESAs will always detect material misstatements when it exists. Misstatements can arise from fraud or error and are considered material if individually or in aggregate they could reasonably be expected to influence the economic decisions of users and take on the basis of these financial statements. In our case, there is no error, fraud, or any material misstatements that we came across for the financial year under review. That is 2022 July 1st to 30th June 2023. Report on page 6, report of the independent auditors to the council members of Kenya Nutritional and Dietitian Institute for the period ended 30th June 2023. As part of an audit in accordance with ISAs, we exercise professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. We also, number one, identify and assess the risks of material misstatement of the financial statements, whether due to fraud or error, design and perform audit procedures responsive to those risks, and obtain audit evidence that's sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for opinion. The risk of not detecting a material misstatement resulting from fraud is higher than for one resulting from error, as fraud may involve collusion, forgery, intentional omissions, misrepresentations, or the override of internal controls. We obtain an understanding of internal controls relevant to the audit in order to design audit procedures that are appropriate in the circumstances, but not for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the effectiveness of the Institute's internal control. We evaluate the appropriateness of accounting policies used and the reasonableness of accounting estimates and related disclosures made by the management. We conclude on the appropriateness of management's use of the going concern basis of accounting, and based on the audit evidence obtained, whether material uncertainty exists related to the event of or conditions that may cast significant doubt on the organizational ability to continue as a going concern. We conclude that material uncertainty exists. If we conclude that material uncertainty exists, we are required to draw attention in our auditor's report to the related disclosures in the financial statement. In this case, I can confirm, Madam Chair, that the going concern element for KNDI is good. There is what we call a foreseeable going concern element, and based on the figures that we have, is that KNDI can survive any upheavals in the future. We communicate with those charged with governance regarding, among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identify during our audit. The engagement partner responsible for the audit is me, Miro Karanja, practice license number 2132, and in good standing with the Institute. We are through with that literature, so we go to the figures. And I'll start by taking you members through the statement of comprehensive income. This is a statement that reflects the comparison between what was received as income and what was expensed. At this level, it's also good to enlighten you members that the concept that we use to recognize income is the accrual basis. Any income recognized here is not necessarily money that you can find in the bank, but an income earned. You know, I hope I'm clear there. So I'll be reading with comparatives for the same period, 2022 and 2023, but the year under review is 2023. So income for 2023, as depicted in note number 2, for year 2023 was 111,886,821 compared to 2022 at 54,442,262. The breakdown for that income, if Chair you can allow me to go through the breakdown, it was composed of membership and subscription arrears of 41,463,044, conference and CPDs and 755,020, research grant and value chain analysis and 8,138,704, registration and 6,816,560, indexing and 11,275,311, renewal fees and 4,324,771. Income that was generated from training institution was 23,450,000. Private practices and 373,169. There was interest of 106, and then there was upgrade on core clusters that earned 15,290,136. So total income for that period is 111,866,821 compared to the same period, 2022, which was 54,442,262. So there was a great leap forward of around 48% in income. Whether it was all collected is another matter, which we will come to. So that's the income for the institute. Now we go to the expenditures. The expenditures are categorized into registration fee expenses, which we don't have any registration expense for that year. Internship expenses of 333,144. I'm going to read the breakdowns of all the expenses. Then examination units at 3,195,875. Assurance and research units at 5,107,180. Then there is council expenses of 4,138,665. Administration expenses of 56,445,632. ATRI PLC in Busia of 3,617,477. And of course, there is depreciation of the assets, which was 2,204,796. The total expenditure amounts to 75,042,770 compared to 59,404,876. There was a surplus for the year of 36,884,051. That surplus, as I try to put it, is actually a book figure, because when you come to collection, you're going to realize there's still a lot of money outstanding from the people who are supposed to have paid. So I'll take you through the breakdown of those expenses. The registration expenses for year 2023, there was none, it was zero. The internship expenses was made of intern orientation of 121,274, intern assessment of 190,500, then intern competence building of 2,900, which total to 333,144, compared to last year's 1,167,596. Then the examination unit expense, which was composed of exam settings and moderations of 25,500, exam administration of 837,600, exam marking and grading 151,000, and special upgrading exam, which was 2,181,775. Total of examination unit expense was 2,195,875 compared to last year's 2,250,761 same period. Then there is assurance and research unit expense, included site inspection of 3,834,500. There was no annual conference expense for that year. Curriculum review 106,400. Quality assurance and research, there was none. Continuing professional development 64,000. and leadership training of 1,102,280. Total expense for assurance and research unit was 5,107,180 compared to 4,742,247 the previous year. Then the council expense, statutory council meeting, 990,660. Special council meeting, there was none for the 2023 year. Statutory accreditation meetings, 174,500. Statutory disciplinary, there was none. Advocacy, lobbying, and communication, there was none. License award ceremony, 1,037,505. Workshop, seminars, and technicals, 25,500. Of course, the statutory audit of 94,500. AGM and SGM of 174,700. Council chair's office expense, 1,365,300. Audit committee expense, 133,000. And resource mobilization of 143,000. So total expense for KNDI Council, 4,138,665 for 2023, compared to 6,641,832 of the previous year, that is June 2022. The administrative expense, which forms the big chunk of these expenses are expenses that for running the secretariat and many other stuff. Postage and mailing, 14,420. Post office box rentals, 94,50. Staff recruitment, 35,000. Legal fee and related expense, 500,000. Media and public expense, 191,336. Salaries, 30,412,152. Motor vehicle expenses of 698,418. Asset insurance, 268,45. Group medical insurance, 268,45. WIBA, GLA, 239,289. Office expense of 1,815,186. Telephone, 382,92. Electricity, 198,000. Staff training and capacity building, 45,000. Internet and web hosting, 640, 413. Audit fees of 220. Benevolent fund, 111,000. CSR of 541,899. International travels, 907,111. Management and staff meetings, 126,31. Gratuity of 8,091,390. Resource mobilization, 373,000. Transport facilitation, 175,620. Bank charges of 184,239. External technical refunds, 958,200. Repairs and maintenance, 2,646,031. Land rates, there was none paid. There's wages of 1,905,725. And debt collection of 586,730. An interest charge of 3,104,047. So a total of administrative expenses of 56,445,632 compared to 43,701,302 of the previous year, same period. Then, of course, the other one is ATRI research, 3,617,477. The last figure is depreciation, which is as a result of the depreciation of the assets of the institute. Then page number 14 is the asset movement schedule, which shows that the assets as at 30th June 2023 was worth 66,481,888, composed of land and building worth 58,827,417, motor vehicle 3,152,563, furnitures and fittings 2,714,069, computers and equipment of 766,712, and depreciation charge for that year is 2,204,795. Cash and cash equivalent, I think we need to go now to the balance sheet, as we are through with the statement of comprehensive income. So that is basically the statement that summarizes and analyzes the income and expenses for the institute. This is the statement of financial position as at 30th June, or rather the balance sheet. We have the non-current assets, which I've just read from the asset schedule. It's worth 66,481,688. Maybe I need to go through it again. It's composed of land and buildings at 58,827,417, motor vehicle at 3,152,563, furnitures and fittings at 2,714,069, computer and equipment 1,787,840, and the total is 66,888,888, the same figure that you're going to get as page 6 as the current assets, as the non-current assets. Current assets are cash and cash equivalents of 703,389, which is broken down as, this is the money that was at the bank in the close of 30th June 2023. Cooperative Bank had 625,505. Family Bank had 15,090. NCBA had 32,007 shillings. And family account had 30,788. Total of 703,390. Then we have trade and other receivables, which is 100,152,300. This is what we call debtors. This is money owed the institute by outsiders, or rather, it could also be internal. So the receivables, which is 999,869, and of course, the rent deposit. That money still belonged to the institute because it had paid that rent in advance. It's 282,500. So total of receivables is 152,300. At this point, somebody can see that if all this money was to be collected at 99, especially the 99 million, it can make a big stride for the institute. Then we have current liabilities. We have loan. We have two loans. We have loan number 046A FFL. That, I think that was not there for this year, but we had a new loan. No, we had the existing loan that moved from 13,792,626 in year 2022, and it increased. I think there was a top up of to 20,327,316. So the loan amount is 20,327,316. Then we have accounts payable. This is money owed by the institute to other people. We have trade and other payables of 31,597,972. Then the fund balance of 115,412,289, and the balance sheet balances at 167,337,578. So the balance sheet, in a sense, grew from 122,465,365 in 2022 to 167,337,578. So there was positive growth of the balance sheet. And those are the two major constitutive statements that we needed to present here. Maybe the other note that we should go through is that the currency is in Kenya shilling, and the institute is registered in Kenya. And the report, as I said, is an unqualified one, a good report. All the expenses were verified. They were supported by all the support documents. And through voting, we verified that almost 100% of the expenses were well supported. So, Madam Chair, with those many, I don't know whether they're remarks or figures, I beg to sit the ground, the floor, unless there is any question from any professional. Okay. Okay.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a comprehensive presentation of the report by Muriu Karanja, who is our external auditor. And he has given us a statement of comprehensive income and expenditure, the financial position, and the overall health of the institute, comparative with the 2022. So based on that, ladies and gentlemen, colleague professionals, you're now free to ask questions based on that report. And the report, as has already been notified, will be available for your reading even in the future through the website, the institute's website. So, can we get the chart? Any information from the chart? Chair, we have stood in to help you with your permission.
Thank you, Prof. Kindly go ahead. Thank you.
Yes. So are there information online? Check messages. Or you can raise your hand. For those who can talk, you can raise your hand, and you'll be unmuted to say. These auditor things, yeah, you're doing a good. You know, the confusion of unqualified versus qualified is one thing that turns the brain upside down. That what is good is actually in reality the bad one, but what is bad is actually in reality what is good. So that somersaulting of words can be confusing, but that is it. Even if you have a question from the chair's report, you can pull them together. So ladies and gentlemen, then we are going to put a question. The chair's report, which was presented by the chair, led by the chair herself, and the comprehensive audit report. We would like to get you to adopt both the reports. So with that, I would request a proposer and a seconder for both the reports. So chair's report, and then the audit report, or combined. We are going to combine them. Okay. Proposer? Members? You can also type. Proposer? Hope all members are in. Or you want to propose by acclamation? We must get a name of the proposer and the seconder. Is there any member? Are they muted? Do members have rights to unmute? Okay. Yeah. Members, are you hearing me? Let me just know. Are members online? Yes, I can still see 62 members. Would want to get okay, you are getting me, getting us. So we would like a proposer of the entire report. That's the chair's report. The two are actually both chairs' report. So we'd want a proposer and a seconder of both reports.
I propose Professor Nguka. This is Agatha.
Dr. Agatha Christine has proposed. Seconder?
I second. This is Emmanuel.
Seconded by Emmanuel. Emmanuel, you can just read for us your registration number, if you don't mind.
Oh, let me check it and then I give you. I'll read for you. Let me check.
Okay, go ahead. Or ID number. Yeah. Emmanuel, your ID number will help us.
Okay, my ID number is 240 47497.
That's okay?
Can I repeat?
Yes, repeat once more.
240
yes
474
474
97
last. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the reports of the chair stand adopted. Thank you. I give back to the chair so that the chair can now hold this here. Chair, back to you.
Chair, unless you have something to say, you can adjourn, and we make a statement on way forward after this.
Thank you, Professor Nguka. Thank you, Dr. Okeo. Thank you, professionals, for taking time to attend this AGM. It takes a lot of courage for us as nutritionists to keep on growing our profession. Otherwise, I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So the meeting is officially closed. The entire recording will be sent to all the professionals again, even those who have not attended. They still have a few days to make reactions wherever they are, but that now has to be done directly to the office of the CEO once you receive the audio recording. And we will have a series of them from 2018, 2019 to date, so that professionals can have a look at it. So it will be the public domain, so those who didn't attend, they can still go through the whole of it. And if they're not happy, it's public document, they can come. or they can petition Parliament. Okay. Thank you, and thank you very much, all of us, for attending.
Thank you too.
So there is tea for those who are here physically. The tea is blessed. Okay, there is also cake and many other things alongside. So the tea is blessed. Yes, the water alongside is blessed. The accompaniments like bread and the rest, they are also blessed. Yeah, so nobody will complain that KNDI got food poisoning. It is cancelled in Jesus' name. Okay, thank you.